Hello and welcome to Nathan's Garage. It's been a while, I know. So, I'm here to let you know what I've been up to, what's in the garage, and what's next for Nathan's Garage. So, where have I been and what have I been doing? We finished Betty and she turned out amazingly. There was a possible buyer in Colorado and then a local buyer popped up in Valencia. I always want to sell locally. Don't know, I just wanted to keep the truck in California. Kid came up, wanted to buy it, didn't quite pan out, and then his parents got on the phone and they wanted to do the deal. So the truck made its way into a private family collection and is now in a barn with some really cool cars, and I'm quite sure they'll tinker with her and take her out and do shows and stuff like that. So I'm really happy where she turned out. And with me, I did get very burnt out last year with building her and the house renovations and my, not health, but my body generally breaking down. A lot of you will know that halfway through the build I partially tore the bicep tendon in my right shoulder after many of you told me to stop lifting heavy things in the shows on my own, but I didn't listen. So I partially tore the bicep tendon in my right shoulder, and then in rehabbing that one while swimming, I then tore the rotator cuff in my left shoulder. That really led to me taking a step back, because what had happened throughout my life, I've kind of taking care of myself, but that had really taken a back seat in starting Nathan's Garage and doing, seriously, not only do I have to contend with planes now, flies as well. Annoying. So in starting Nathan's Garage and trying to turn it into a business, I'd really put my health kind of, on the back burner, and it really took a toll. I've lost 10 pounds heavier than I was right now, and was drinking a lot. So we've cut back on the drinking and lost 10 pounds. So, and got a gym membership and putting a bit more of a priority on that part of life. So where does that leave Nathan's Garage? Well, as you can see, there's a lot more room in here. A lot of stuff has gone and cleared out, and it's clean, and my mental health because of that is a lot better. Just having stuff stacked everywhere and the floor being under an inch of aluminum dust was really taking its toll on me. I just didn't want to come into the garage. So it's clean, it's orderly, got 2 cars in. Christy's car doesn't have to bake in the sun all the time now. It can make its way in and everybody's happy. So one thing, I have gone back to acting as a primary income source. So that leaves a little bit less time for Nathan's Garage, but if I'm being brutally honest, I wasn't really using my time efficiently anyway, so it's probably not going to make a huge amount of difference to what I produce for the actual channel. So what's next for the channel? I definitely want to stay away from physically large vehicles because I don't have a lot of space. So I then start messing around with a long bed F250, and it just takes up everything, like eats every piece of space in my driveway, in my garage, and around all the sides of my house with panels. And I can't lift panels on my own. I've finished rehab for my shoulders, but they're still not right. I've still just got, time's gonna heal them. So I need vehicles that are smaller that I can lift on my own. So this was not an impulse buy. There's a build I have in my mind that I've wanted to do for a long time. One thing that I grew up with in England was touring cars with Ford Sierra Cosworths, hence I love Merca XR40i's over here, and Audi Quattros and Peugeot 205 T16s in Group B rallying. Mainly the Audi Quattro for the sound. That brings me to this girl here. This is a 5-cylinder turbocharged manual transmissioned Volvo C70. It was super close. It was on Craigslist. The guy had it on Craigslist for over a month. So I called him up and he was just like, it's in the way, need the parking space. We did a deal and I brought it home. It runs, it's overheated, possible water pump. I'm pretty sure these have a plastic impeller, so impellers tend to fall off on them, and there's also a hole in the header tank. So it's got hot, it runs, it doesn't misfire, but there's a lot of steam out of the exhaust when it is switched on, so I'm 99% sure we'll be doing a head gasket on it, but obviously I've got to pull the water pump first and see, what state that's in on the way to taking the head off anyway. So as to what's going to actually happen with this, I don't know right now. A lot of my projects are dictated to by Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp. Because when a deal turns up and it's close, I'll jump on it if I've got the space. That's why that happened. A bucket list build of mine is to basically chop this car at the firewall and get an air-cooled Beetle and chop the back out of the air-cooled Beetle and shove the front of this under the back of the air-cooled Beetle, thus making a mid-engined, 5-cylinder, emissions-free supercar. Like my own mid-engined supercar. I've always wanted one, can't afford a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or anything like that. And even if I could afford them, I don't know if I'd buy one. I really don't know. I don't think I would. But anyway, if I don't want a Ferrari, I thought I'll make one. And that is the route that could possibly happen for this car. Or I could just fix the head gasket and flip it, because our wedding anniversary is in a couple of months. Bit of extra cash from this buys prezzies, which is very, very important. So we'll get it running, sort it all out mechanically, tons of oil leaks, sort all that out, and then we shall see where we are at that point. This is now Saturday. I plan on getting the water pump out, timing belt off, head off tomorrow, Sunday. And then we will be contacting Volvo Yoda, obviously, to help me put it back together, make sure the head's flat, and all that good stuff. So, yeah, we'll have a look around. The kid who I bought this off really, really loved it. He's done tons of stuff to it, but it's all stuff that I don't care for. The exhaust is cool. It's got like a baller back box on it. There's a cut halfway down the exhaust and it goes up to like 3-inch piping. Good. There's a really fancy radio in it and speakers and wiring. Bad. Loads of LED lighting. Bad. Boost gauge where the headlight switch is supposed to be. Bad. The headlights seem to switch on with ignition. Battery drains relatively quickly. Wiring, bad. Viper alarm, I don't like aftermarket alarms, bad. So there's a lot of sorting out to do. It's got an IPD strut brace, good. And it's been kind of well taken care of. It's not a West Coast car because there's a fair bit of crustiness underneath, not the actual frame or chassis itself, but like steering rack, just anything that was like a bare metal bracket or stuff like that. It's just crusty, so it's definitely not lived in California all its life. But yeah, let's have a quick look round. She's a bit crusty, but let's have a quick look round. The dolly is rented and we're in Rick's trusty truck. And this is the next addition to the fleet. Fleet's pretty small right now. Probably not the right word, a fleet. But yeah. Volvo C70 turbo manual transmission. So it should be fun. It's overheating, so we've got to figure that out. Happy days. Let's get her on the tow dolly. So you see how any planning I tell you guys instantly is null and void as soon as it exits my mouth, because as soon as I say I want little projects and I don't want anything heavy, I talk about chopping this thing in half. Jesus. My wife is a good woman, because I don't understand myself sometimes. So that's the important thing. It's a stick. So there you can see, right there's a boost gauge. Should be a headlight switch. We've got speakers and we have dash cameras, and we have big stereos and lots of dents. So it seems apparently it was stolen, that's why it's a salvage title. So she has lots of character in that area. You know, big old dent. No, it's not big, you know, if I got one of those paintless dent guys out, could probably get that sorted out. Fancy Viper alarm. Got some slotted and drilled discs. And then the sound. The all-important sound. So nice IPD. Strut bar there. And as I say, there's a hole in the header tank. Radiator's pretty new, but tons of steam coming out of the back. And as you can see, not washed her yet. She's still a little dirty, but I just got her out of Car Alley and put her in here because we're right around 100 degrees right now, and it's seriously hot in the daytime to work on her. So Mercedes is out for a few minutes and it's going to be out tomorrow. Going to crack on with this, get the head off and figure out what is going on with her. And that's it. I'll see you tomorrow my time, and a couple of days your time, and maybe mid-engine supercar or anniversary presents. Who knows?